you hear me? Okay. Well, thank you, Seema. Maybe you're reading someone else's CD there. I didn't realize I had done all that. But yeah, first of all, thank you, Anil, for this kind invitation. And thank you, Sudhir, for such a nice introduction to the alumni. I hope this continues and doesn't fizzle out. That's your job.
It's just a beginning.
Yes. So it's so nice to be here amongst familiar faces. And as Anil said, yeah, इस डिपार्टमेंट के साथ और बहुत यादें जुड़ी हुई हैं. वो कहानियाँ फिर कभी और सही. But it's so nice to see other familiar faces. My high school friend is here, Irfan. Thank you for coming, Irfan. It means a lot. And when he asked me what topic you would like to present, I can bore you with a lot of very in-depth technical stuff which I do. You'll be bored, you'll be speaking. I don't want to do that. So I want this to be very interactive. But before I do that, I promised Anita, my wife, that I'm gonna dedicate today's lecture to her professor, Dr. Dixit. So please give him a big round of applause because in a way he's my teacher. Dr. Ray, God bless his soul, and him. They taught us a lot when we joined our PhDs. And then there's Shahina sitting here. Sangeeta is one of the best friends. And so she's here to keep a tab on me. I know why Sangeeta is still here. And then Shivani, it means a lot for you to be here. So thank you. And two other familiar faces. They were a lot younger when I met them earlier. I met them about 35 years ago. This is meeting you guys after 35 years. Naveen and Desh. It brings back memories. Your Royal Enfield, I still remember that. I hope you still have that Royal Enfield. But again, this is the great Lucknow University department. It's so nice to see these halls have changed. The hall below was our main classroom. The lower wall was taken and there were a few of us. Me, Vinod Bhartani, Samit Chatterjee. God bless Vinod, he's not with us anymore. We'll jump out of those windows which you see. You're not. We're not attending classes. I don't want you guys to do that, okay? Or else you'll end up like me. Old, still learning after 40 years of passing, graduating from here. But coming back to the topic, how many of you can answer this question? What is a drug? Anyone? I want some answers. I'm not going to drug. Who's going to take a chance? What is a drug? There are different kinds of drugs. I can talk about psychedelic drugs if you want. I can talk about not the drugs which treat human beings. I can talk about some other drugs. But do you guys know what is a drug? Okay, I'll have to do that. We just go to Wikipedia. This is the hierarchy. Am I standing in the wrong? Any substance other than food that is used to prevent, diagnose, treat, or relieve symptoms of a disease or abnormal condition is called a drug. So today's topic, like I said, I'll be using a lot of, I'll take my own history of developing drugs, and I'll tell you where I walked through. There are a lot of questions which you hear about pharmaceutical industry, what they are doing, how they develop drugs, how they market drugs, how they cost the drugs, and question goes on. But I'll tell you behind the scenes what happens when people who are working there to make these drugs. So I really want to thank, is there a laser pointer here?
Yeah.
I want to thank my group. The actual faces are not here, but I don't know how many of you have read Tintin. That's my most favorite comic. So this is my discovery group. It's very important. There are a few things you have to remember and learn when you're trying to develop drug. One of the foremost thing is the group you have, which is working with you. Obviously, I'm going to talk to you about some science. Who can tell what this is? Anyone? This should be easy. Because no one is telling that there's a problem on it. What is this? It's a crystal structure of a protein. Come on, students. So this is the protein of my interest. It's a transmembrane. It travels the transmembrane domain. It's a protein called CFTR, cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator. Big word, but it's called CFTR. This protein actually, it's historically, this protein was first found, and people have traced back to the origin of this protein. They've traced it back to people from Bronze Age. So this protein has been very well established and has passed on several generations in humans. What is this protein doing in human beings? How is it helping or doing what the protein is supposed to do, and what is that supporting? You'll come to know a little bit of that. But I want to talk about the disease which I'm working on since 1989 actually, last 39 years of my life. And I'm still learning about this disease. It's called cystic fibrosis. Back in the 60s, a young girl was asked, which diseases she affected with. The girl was not able to say it's cystic fibrosis. She just wrote cystic fibrosis. And that's how it has become the emblem for this disease. It's cystic fibrosis. That's what the disease is called. I have to do something because I work for a company. Whenever I'm presenting anything, I have to tell them I'm an employee of Abbvie. Please do not record any of these slides because I have not taken permission. So one thing when you're trying to develop drug or you're trying to do anything, try to break the rules. I'm teaching you the wrong things, but it's important. I just started reading this book by Don Clifton. Don Clifton is the guy who formed Gallup. I'm sure you have heard about Gallup polls. So I was just visiting Omaha a couple of weeks ago. And one of my friends, his wife works there, so she gave me this book. And it's a great book. He wrote all about the first thing you need to do is break all the rules. And that's what the team efforts is you're going to hear today. It has happened because we broke all the rules. We did not follow all the rules. And I'm pretty sure, some of you, most of you, when you drive on the highway, the speed limit is 80. But I'm sure you're driving at 100. Come on, tell me who's not. Right? You break the rule. You're breaking a rule there. Why are you breaking? Because you want to go faster and reach there faster. So these are the kinds of rules which you can break. They're not hurting anyone. Just remember that. Anyway, one of the things which gets asked is, you work in the pharmaceutical industry. How many people work on a project? A typical project. It depends the kind of project. The kind of project I was working on, there's easily 100 names which are listed in here. This sorry about that, I didn't want to break the mic. But hundreds of people. We just are starting a phase 2 clinical trials. And we are writing these reports, which we have to meet with the FDA in December. We counted there were 17 different teams which came along to get this 109-page document, which we will be presenting to the FDA. You do the count, it's close to 500 people who have worked in the last 9 years to get to this point of starting a phase 2 clinical trial. That's what it takes. It takes a village to develop a drug. There's a couple of people I really want to highlight. They put chances in me, Christy and Jerry Fox. 9 years ago, they reached out to me. I was working very happily in a company in San Diego. And Chris called, he said, do you want to take the challenges again and try to do what we did, start in San Diego 21 years ago? I said, yeah, sure. And I moved to Chicago. And I don't know